Just with our weekly overview for this week, week 5 we're at. So just go over what you have in store this week. You should be wrapping up your business card assignment this week. It's due at the end of the week, and we're going to start a new assignment, which is creating an illustration in Illustrator. And this is going to be doing a much more detailed project in Illustrator than we've done so far. Things we've done so far have been fairly simple in their execution, not a lot of color, really meant to just get you all used to using Illustrator. This one you're going to dive a little bit deeper into it, and you're going to do a project that you're going to have two options for it. You're going to either do a color portrait of someone, or you can do a color illustration of your own original cartoon character, suitable for like a comic book or animation. So that's what this project is going to be. Let's just go over the checklist. So you read and watch the Illustrator illustration introduction. And in here, I've got just a little brief blurb on this week and a couple of videos that go over how you can create an illustration by starting with a reference photo. So you can do a draw over on photos for this. You can use a photo, bring it into Illustrator, and trace over the top of it to create your illustration. These are two examples that do that. These two aren't narrated, but just by watching them, you can get a good idea of how the artist goes about the process of creating the illustration. And then I've got a link with a lot more tutorials on how to do portraits in Illustrator. So you've got 2 weeks on this project, so take some time to just research and learn to. Don't think you have to jump into it first thing today. Be thinking about your subject, who it's going to be. You can do a self-portrait. You can do a portrait of friends or family. You can do a celebrity portrait if you can find some good imagery on the internet. This is one of the few cases in which I'm going to let you really use a lot of downloaded imagery without much restrictions on my part. So you can, find a celebrity you want to do an illustration of. You can find a good picture of them, then you can use that as your reference and tracing image. Okay. Then we have the project proper here. Just again, a little explanation of the project. I've got a couple of demos of how I would approach the start of this project. Because it's going to be more complex, I'll probably have a couple videos for you over the next 2 weeks. We'll start off with the really simple idea of getting the really simple illustration done, and then as we go on, I'll introduce some new advanced Illustrator techniques that you can start to incorporate into your project. So this is how I would approach a character design illustration and a portrait illustration in Illustrator. So those are, maybe 9-10 minutes each, something like that. Here's the spec on your project. The illustration must be on letter-sized document, 8.5 by 11. It can be horizontal or vertical. You have to use color in your portrait. And the completed image must be submitted as a PDF file to the appropriate Dropbox link. Project is due 10/4, 11:59 p.m. it looks like. All right. What else for this week? We've got the illustration. Again, this is where you'll submit your business card assignment. It's due this week at 11 p.m. on the 20th. I believe that's Sunday. And you do have a discussion board for this week. I don't have it here. I'll have it here by the time you're in class, though. But you have your Project 4 work in progress discussion board posts. Make sure you're doing those posts. Those are helpful for everybody to see and read, I think. So just make sure you stay on top of those. But that's the gist of it for the week. We're going to start our most ambitious Illustrator project, and you get more time for this one. So hopefully that will help. All right, and just give me a shout with any questions, or you can relay them through Andy if you'd like. So there you go. That's this week. Thanks, y'all.